I'd usually introduce myself. Hello, my name is Dr. Bunn, though in Sierra Leone, where I work now, I'd often say my name Dr. Mary, because that's easier for people to say than Dr. Bunn.
Does everybody go by their first names?
No, but then not many people are English. So if I was a local doctor, sometimes if I'm trying to say my full name, Dr. Bunn, I would have to pronounce it Bon, because they understand that better, or Bundu, which is a known name, or you're just trying to make it a name that people can relate to and say without feeling awkward. So Dr. Mary Ruth Bunn, MB B Cheer, my original degree, actually MA Cantab because it was Cambridge, and then I've got MRC GP for being a GP, DTMNH diploma in tropical medicine. I've got a family planning diploma, no, not a diploma, step below that, and masters, an MPhil in palliative medicine from Cape Town University, and I've just completed the palliative care fellowship. I think I actually have got an advanced diploma in primary care mental health as well, for what it's worth. So my career path, I initially qualified as a doctor in, was it 1990-ish. I went almost immediately to work in the Gambia with James, not really being sure what kind of career I wanted at that point, but very, very much wanting to work in Africa. And when we were in the Gambia, the job I ended up doing was really a GP style job, and I realised I did like that. So I also knew I wanted to have children as well, and was trying to think what area of medicine would fit well with bringing up kids. So when we came back from there, I did a training in general practice, at the end of which I worked quite part-time for a little while when the kids were little, and then we went to South Africa, and then we came back, and then we went to Malawi for quite a few years, and the need in Malawi was for someone to run the children's palliative care unit, which is something I'd always been interested in doing. So I took over running that for the next 3 years or so. And when we came back, I actually wanted to do palliative care rather than general practice. So I did a bit of a mixture, but mostly palliative care. And then more recently, James got a job out in Sierra Leone, and I was phoned by someone to say, we hear you're a palliative care doctor and we really want someone to develop palliative care in Sierra Leone. We think you might be what we're looking for. And I thought, well, I'm sure this is exactly what I'm looking for. So for the last few years, I've been trying to develop palliative care in Sierra Leone. So I now call myself a palliative care doctor, even though my initial training was in general practice.
And why palliative care?
I've always really liked the sort of holistic aspects of medicine. It's that you're not just treating the disease, but you're treating the disease in the context of the patient, and you're treating the patient in the context of their family and their community, and recognising it's not just the illness that affects them, but it's the kind of implications of the illness. I mean, an example we often give is, for example, if you treat pain, but actually the pain is actually making someone really worried that there's something deeper underlying that might be very serious or they don't understand. And so if you can treat the pain, but actually you're not going to address the person's other associated worries. So I like the sort of bigger picture aspects of medicine. And there hasn't been palliative care in Sierra Leone, so there's a big need for that. Well, so actually that's why when we first came back from Africa, from Malawi, and I actually went into palliative care and started working in a hospice in UK. After quite a short, I kind of thought that would be my career from then on, but actually I realised that actually there were times when I just found it overwhelmingly sad, and I wasn't sure I'd be able to do that as my long career for the rest of my life. So I kept on doing some GP sessions to keep my hand in, so that if I found palliative care too emotionally demanding, I suppose, I could have gone back into general practice. But as time went on, I got better at dealing with it. I think it's particularly if things come too close to home, you know, patient reminds you of someone you love or someone in your family, or people in your own family are ill, it can be tricky. So, as I say, with my team in Sierra Leone, particularly we look after children and adults. We have a lot of children who sort of tragically die at a young age. So we have to we talk about it quite a lot within our team, and think about what we could do better. Try and make sure that whoever it is, that their final period of their life is good time and pain-free if possible, and that helps. But no, it's not always easy. Every job has its difficulties, doesn't it?
And also, why Africa?
I think I always wanted to do medicine somewhere where there weren't enough doctors, because I know that people think this country has struggles and people criticise the NHS, but I can tell you the NHS is a fantastic thing. There are not many countries that have as good a medical system as available, free at the point of need. But most countries in Africa, there's a huge need for doctors. There aren't enough, and Sierra Leone worse than most places. I think I've always had it in me. I think when I first trained as a doctor, I always felt very drawn or called to work in a less well-resourced country. Initially I thought Nepal, but in the last 20 years or something, it's been Africa. I definitely want to complete what I'm doing in Sierra Leone. I want to help to get it to a stage where it doesn't depend on an expat like myself. So I've just very recently got a local doctor, Sierra Leonean doctor, working alongside me. So I'm really hoping that she'll stick with it, and I'll be able to hand on to her. If we come back in the next couple of years, I won't be quite at retirement age. Not quite sure what I'm going to do. Yeah, I think I'm open to suggestions, but at the moment I want to carry on doing what I'm doing. I mean, in all honesty, I do think I would say I felt called to do medicine, by which I mean, I suppose I felt that's what the God who made me to do and wanted me to do. So I think I would say it felt very vocational. But I always say to people, I don't think there's no such thing as a pure motive. So I want to do what I think God wants me to do, but also I do love science. I loved chemistry when I was an 18-year-old. I find it all very interesting. I do like people. All of us like to feel needed and to help others, don't we? I think it's very interesting. There's lots of opportunities to travel and meet interesting people and do different things. So all of that I found stimulating and interesting. But initially I would say that's what I felt was the right thing for me to do.
And finally, I was wondering if you could write me a sick note.
Write you a sick note?
Yeah.
Why, are you sick?
No, but I want some time on Friday.
Yeah. You're not really filming this, are you? This is the only bit you want.
Sam think we want to. We will. So I need a convincing excuse not to go into work.
When are you supposed to go to work?
Yeah.
When are you supposed to go back?
Well, I don't know. I think I'm meant to go back in a week. I'm not actually going to use it, just for disclosure.
Well, so what we quite often do with sick notes, are you serious about this?
I want you to write it. I'm not actually going to take it to work, because I mean, it is a hospital. I think they'll be a bit suspicious.
Yeah, either it would have headed paper if it's real. To whom it may concern. And I've just signed it Dr. Bunn. I would normally put a bit more information, but it seems you've got lots of Drs. Bunn. I can claim not to be responsible.
Well, Dr. Bunn, thank you for your time.
Thank you.